Okay, I think I'm live. I think that I'm live. I think so. Hit like, share, subscribe if you see that I'm live here. If I'm actually live, hit like, share, and subscribe. Are you there, Brandon? Are you already there, Hauk?
Maybe, maybe not.
Ah, good.
Maybe I'm
Maybe,
a ghost.
right on. That's good because I got like, of course, the first part of the show where I got to set up and it's, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I'm like doing all this and it's really handy to have someone to talk to at that time. But
Oh
also,
yeah, of
like,
course.
I'm not sure. Like, I haven't tried talking much since
Oh.
a tooth just fell out on me last night in the back of my
Ooh.
mouth.
Ooh.
After years of being a problem, and I'm not sure if I like the feeling or not. I'm like, and I'm not
You
really
know what I
used to
forgot to do? I
talking.
forgot to do Montana weather today.
Oh, did you?
Uh, I'll I'll wing up a forecast.
Poor Montana, always getting
Maybe
forgotten about.
maybe I'll do it in the pre-show here. I gotta do like 30 seconds. So
Well, you can record it while you're live here for sure.
yeah, I'll do. I'll just do a quick little thingy. I won't do a full forecast here. 5 day, and then I'll put the. Oh, you get to hear my good music here.
Okay, great. Yeah, the good music.
Oh yeah. Still air quality statement. All right. I'll say
Yeah, well, Canadian smoke's going over the border.
it is. Areas of smoke reducing. Okay. So we'll just do it. I gotta stand up and I gotta put this silly thing on. So it sounds good on radio, I'm gonna broadcast from here.
All right, you're getting a real treat tonight, folks. Brandon Hauk's going to do a broadcast right now.
Yes. This plays tomorrow morning actually, but they wanted it at 4 a.m.
Are you
I'm kind of
shouting
not
out to Dua Lipa?
really ready at 4 a.m. at 3 a.m. to do a broadcast yet.
Meteorologist Mark's here. Brandon Hauk's here. Mark's down in Vancouver side there, down by Tsawwassen, White Rock.
Uh,
And
ah,
Brandon is in Brooks, Alberta.
Brooks, Alberta. Okay.
Yes.
Drop my thing. Okay. This is what happens when you have meals in the field today and you just forget about everything. It's serious. In the zone all day. Talking
In
about
the
brisket
zone, auto zone.
in the auto zone. All right. Hopefully we don't have too much feedback. And I'll just do this quickly here. Still air quality statement or whatever they call it down there. Alert. I'll just say, all right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Got to make this 30 seconds. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Here we go. That's way too loud. Okay.
It was. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, people, that'll wake you up in the morning.
Oh yeah.
All right, take two for the Montana. I almost said
Okay, I gotta turn my
Manitoba.
volume down just a little bit here. Okay. Turn my levels down.
Take two on
Uh,
the Montana forecast for radio.
all right, here we go. Take two. Here we go. Three, two, 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Here we go. Let's get into it. We've got air quality alert out for the area. And today, sunshine with a high around 86. Tonight, low down to 50 with sunshine areas. Oh, I got to do that again. There's smoke too. Frick. All right.
Take
Take three.
three coming, everybody, for the
Take three.
Montana
Take three. Take three.
morning
Here we go.
radio weather report.
This should just
Here we
be
go.
the recorded show today. Is how many takes will it take Brandon Hauk?
That might be
How
a
many
while.
takes?
Perfection is important.
It
It
makes
is.
me feel better about how many takes it takes me.
Oh, hey, Ryan, I didn't
Oh,
see you sneak
hi.
in there.
Yes.
I'm like doing three things at once and not actually looking at the screen and not paying attention to who I'm adding into the show. I'm just like, except
All right. Take three. Here we go. Good morning. We've got an air quality alert for our area, and we're going to see sunshine, but there will be areas of smoke, reducing visibility at times with a high around 86. Tonight, low of 50. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny with some local smoke, and our high will be 89. 2 seconds. I got to get my little silly feed here. What is the. All right. And that's your local weather forecast. I'm weather specialist Brandon Hauk with Jacobs Radio.
Hey, right on. Good job, Brandon Hauk.
Now, make sure that you update the graphic that it says Fahrenheit and not Celsius. We know how much that chuffs Mr. Ingalls.
Oh, I just do that because it's funny.
I
I
know.
don't care.
I'm just teasing.
So if you're just tuning in now, we got Storm Chaser Ryan Vatalainen, we got Mark Angles, meteorologist, we got weather specialist Brandon Hauk, we got myself, Joey Only. I haven't introduced myself yet for the show, who's missing a tooth in the back of my mouth now, and talking feels absolutely weird. So I'm so glad you guys are here. What a weird week I've had. So not only that, I got demonetized for a week from Facebook for something silly, and I was like, really, like demonetizing didn't make any sense. Okay, sure. I put up with that for a week. Then I get monetized back on yesterday. Great news, great news.
And then you made sense.
And then in the afternoon, what happens is suddenly I get this like, we have found that your post from last week has violated our. It was one where I'm talking about how Graham Greene was the voice on Red Dead Redemption 2. Character voice, character acting, and I got flagged for hate speech, which is crazy because I'm like the opposite of hate speech, like in every way. So I challenge it because it's like 30-day ban on using groups. I'm like, I run a group of 44,000 people at Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. Like, there's critical stuff going on in the province. I challenge, and within the hour, Facebook puts a message back on my screen: your post has been restored. I'm like, great. I go to use Weather Watchers, and up comes, you are on restrictions for the next 30 days. I'm like, well, I'm on restrictions for a post that you flagged but was restored. So I can't use any groups right now. So that's making sharing this show around hard. So if you could, everybody, share, because I can't right now. Just weird. It's just like I'm always at war with these robots. I hate them. I hate the robots.
Speaking of, actually, I want to roll back for a second here. You introduced me as a meteorologist and Brandon as a weather specialist, but it's a good thing you didn't introduce Ryan as a weather specialist because he was not here for the dubbing of
Well,
weather specialty.
He's definitely a storm chaser. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
but he wasn't here to be dubbed a weather specialist by me, meteorologist.
That's true. He wasn't last week. He didn't get the official weather specialist handle, but he does have the handle legitimately of storm chaser.
He does have that. He has that more than I do, actually. He goes storm chasing way more than I do because I don't like sitting in the car for 12 hours a day for 5 days straight.
I don't know what you call me though when I go try and go chase heat. I should have driven the Coquihalla yesterday, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it's so explosive. I made a post about the highway getting shut down. It's had over 1 million views.
But I did get the video of the thunderstorm that created that fire.
That's sweet.
Oh, did you?
I did. That was on the 29th when I was driving up to Kelowna, and I even commented on my post saying they're going to have to be watching for wildfires after this one, even though it produced quite a lot of rain. Like, it was wet, but the antecedent conditions, as we know, have been very dry.
Well, and also, like, I have personally seen lightning strike 30 kilometers from a thunderstorm, like the rain area of a thunderstorm. So, like, even if it is quite moist, it doesn't necessarily matter when the province is as dry as it is.
Yeah. Well, this lightning strikes happened, and it definitely happened where it was wet. This fire started because it was wet in that whole area.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it rained.
But yeah, it sparks up a tree and then a bunch of stuff falls on the forest floor, but it's like still largely protected by the tree. So it's not like completely soaked or doused out, and it skunks around for a number of days and crawls around until it starts to find something in the heat of an afternoon that allows it to climb up into the canopy. And the next thing you know, you have this raging fire where no one knew that a fire existed, which is basically what happened with the fire we had here in Wells this week. Of course, I got a lot of footage with a humongous pyrocumulus column there. Not the biggest I've ever seen, not even close, but an impressive one nonetheless. To be September and see pyrocumulus columns in Wells. I mean, last year when we had pyrocumulus columns, period, people were like, wow, you never really see that. Something's changed here where I can think of many years in the first week of September, I was cutting firewood and it was snowing in some of those same locations where the fire happened.
Give it 3 years and they'll be telling you it's normal.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's just September. But yeah, I mean that's a clear change around here. That's a
It's
clear
like
change.
Justin over at Weather Center in Manitoba um, made this post about how like just because it's cold in Manitoba doesn't mean it's not hot other places. Like BC's setting national records, and like somebody posted being like, "Well, BC had a cool, moist summer, but like most of BC was above average this summer."
We sure weren't.
It's just well, it's just the last several summers have been so far above average that now being a little bit above average feels cold.
Well, as you can see on our surface analysis chart today, we got a low pressure system there by James Bay. It's ushering in cold air in behind it. That made for chilly morning in Manitoba and dropping temperatures down where it was quite warm early in the week in Ontario, but that is changing fast with this low pressure system. As you can see, it's drawing air from pretty far northern latitudes, and it's the fall, and there's cold air up there, which you would expect as the sun's radiant power becomes diminished later in the season. In fact, a lot of the north, September being meteorological fall, it makes a lot of sense because there's a clear change already that's happened by then. If you're in northern latitudes, leaves are starting to change even on summers that aren't dry by this time, right?
Well,
So
and
they're far ahead of us. That cold air is up there. Nonetheless, we have this extreme hot air that's coming up to us from here. So you can see that high pressure system. And maybe you want to elaborate on this a little bit, Mark. There's this low off the coast here that's not been allowed to come in, but it's going to start making some instability through the weekend.
this is such a bizarre weather pattern, honestly, because typically when it's like you noted, it's very common to get these strong cold fronts, and even in the beginning of September in the prairie provinces. Um, and a lot of the time, what'll happen is that cold air, because cold air is denser than warm air, it's high pressure behind it, that'll make it over the Rockies into BC and Washington and create very critical wildfire conditions. In fact, in the dense forested areas, the worst time of year for wildfires is this time of year because it's the driest, and then you get the dry offshore flow. But this high, don't get me wrong, we're still having horrible fire conditions, but the high pressure center or the ridge, which runs basically Yukon down to like Four Corners region in the States, is really blocking the colder high pressure in Alberta from getting over the mountains. And so this is that's actually the thing that I'm most concerned about moving forward is there have been off and on hints of a backdoor cold front. That's what we call it because it's coming from the unusual direction. There's been off and on hints of it in the model, but nothing that I feel like super firm about. But if we
Yeah, there's
get a
not a date I
backdoor,
can pick yet, but I've
right,
been
right.
on the same concern that yeah, we got dry thunderstorms that are going to start popping up more and more starting tomorrow, and eventually that's going to change to rain. But is there going to be a dry cold front that slams through? I
Yeah, and
don't
I
see a
think
date for that. I don't see
I
it.
I think it happens at some point because it always happens. But if it happens in October, it's probably going to be fine. If it happens before, say, like September 20th or maybe it's 25th, then all of these fires that are already going crazy in BC and Washington are just gonna take off. Um, the region's very dry despite these thunderstorms, and yes, we will get rain eventually, but like the storm track right now is aimed at Southwest Alaska, not even Southeast Alaska like Juneau or whatever, but it's west of Anchorage. It's not even close. Um, and so we're just very dry. We get these thunderstorms in, and like you were talking about earlier, start these small fires and then you get one day where it really takes off. There are so many big fires, let alone small ones that have been started by dry lightning. Every day I see, like a dozen or more new fire starts in the Washington Cascades from dry lightning. And it's gonna be more than that in BC just because BC is quite a bit larger than Washington.
Yeah, well, if that backdoor cold front comes while we're still maintaining really warm temperatures, the fire behavior will be off the charts.
Yeah.
And if we can get a couple rounds of any amount of rain in the meantime, and we don't have a return to 30 Celsius after this change finally fully works itself out sometime next week, I'd say we're be in a better position where even if that backdoor cold front comes, you're not going to see things stand up quite the same way. But we
can I
haven't
share
had
my
that
screen?
Yeah, we haven't had that reset in weeks where we were having that reset every week through the summer. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
reset
So
being thunderstorms make a bunch of rain and things are at least damp enough for a few days that
right.
the heat didn't have things into extreme, you know, aggressive burning conditions.
Right. So getting back on the earlier soapbox, this they don't have August out yet, but this is the temperature anomaly for July compared to the current climate period, which is 91 to 2020. This is from the Euro reanalysis, which is kind of the considered the gold standard for this sort of thing. And look, even though we had mild weather in the lower mainland and a lot of the interior, like Wells, this shows up as orange, above average temperatures for July. Um, the BC Coast Range, especially very warm, lower mainland and Okanagan, very warm, less so the Kootenays, and then Washington and almost all of Oregon, very above average for July. So,
The last week of July, I think, skewed what the other 3 weeks were really like. Because, it
that's,
did get very hot and dry here at the end of July, but most of that month was pretty ho hum.
well, right. But that's my point is the last couple of years we've had such extreme years that now when we have a uh kind of above average year, it feels like it's not. So here's June, and June again, most of the province is above average. Washington and Oregon well above average. So this is my point that the last like 5 years have been so far above average in British Columbia that when we have a kind of normie above average year, it feels like not much. And people have such recency bias that like people are sitting here telling us, well, when I was a kid, Kelowna would get up to this temperature in the 80s well, no, it didn't. Like even when I was a kid, it didn't. Okay. Our years have been so extreme recently that this above average year feels normal.
Well, I will say to your point, and I did mention this at several junctions through the summer, that when we had summers that were legitimately cool, 2011 was a great example. It rained in August. It was so miserably cold. It was crappy.
I can pull up 2011 here while you
Do it.
talk about it.
I'd be interested to
Uh,
see. It was a miserable August.
Look at that.
Boom. You know,
Sewell. So there's your blues, and then we can switch this to
I can remember specific
precipitation.
years. I can remember specific years where it was,
Oops.
shittier than this.
To your point about 2011, that is one of 2 years in history that my hometown, Kennewick, Washington, didn't hit 100 degrees, and the period of record stretches back to like 1894 or something.
It was awful, man.
Total
I remember that
precipitation.
winter. That was the winter where I shoveled snow off the roof of the house. We had
Oh
so
yeah,
much snow.
here's all your rain up in Caribou and whatever they call Prince George and North Coast.
In the beginning of August, it hammered rain for days as if a monsoon was going on. And it
Well,
was
let's pull
cold. It
that
wasn't
up.
warm. It wasn't nice summer rain. It was like just
Huh.
pounding.
Was it dry the rest of the month? Because
It
kind of
sure
comes
got
up as
better.
not much.
It sure got better. But
But I
those
remember
August
like
1st through 4th or something like that, we had the festival going on here, and it was just apocalyptic rainfall. It was unbelievable. But yeah,
yeah.
August did get better, I do recall, as it went on. September was actually not too bad, but we did have some snowfall again coming at this time in that September at some
Well, yeah,
point.
that's the thing, right? Here's all your moisture in September coming in. That's a very typical. I know that this is above average, but this is kind of within the realm of expectations. But yeah, my overall point that I want people to take home, this this year is above average in BC, even though it doesn't feel that way. And it doesn't feel that way because the last several years have been extreme. That's what we talk about with climate change. The hotter years are getting hotter. and the cooler years are getting warmer. This is not what we grew up with. This is not what I grew up with in
40.8
Tacoma and whatever,
40.8 in Ashcroft, BC yesterday. I
which is
mean,
the national record for September.
it's unbelievable. And you look at that heat wave at the end of August there, and Gina Birchwater pulled up his diagram there, and which I believe it said either 3 or 4 times in British Columbia history had we had periods where we were hitting 40 Celsius that late in the summer.
We're just lucky that this
And
high
then we did
pressure
it
set up at the end of August and not at the beginning of July.
Absolutely, we are. But we had 3 days in a row hitting 40 in that period, right? So like we matched historical precedent combined. But you're absolutely right, Ryan. You're absolutely right. I thought that myself recently, looking at the fire situation, knowing that if we can just get through to next week, and we'll see a reduction in the heat, we'll see possibly a little bit better values for humidex, and more likelihood that we start getting into a fall pattern properly, right? In which we'll see a reduction in fire activity and at some point through this.
I kind of think so. I do think we will get a kind of return to a fall pattern, but I don't think it lasts very long. Ryan, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of looks like we return to heat pretty quickly. Not as hot because then it'll be late September by that point, but it seems like the wet weather doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't. Well, at one point it looked like it was going to last for a while, but yeah, no, it looks like we're going to be switching back to this dry pattern again after about 5, maybe 7 days if we're lucky.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about what to call on that because it's sort of like with this hot spell we're in, it started off as 2-day blip in the forecast. It's going to get up above 30 for 2 days, and then it was 4, and then Mark's like, hey, we got a big hot spell coming, and then the hot spell came, and it's lasted for 2 weeks or whatever now, right? And now I'm looking ahead, and I'm seeing like a 2-day window that the models kind of agree on where it's going to get warm. And I'm like, is that going to... So, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen around the 14th or 15th of this month.
And it's
what
certainly
it looks
not
like
going to
after
get
that.
as warm because we have less sun and less daylight hours. So,
And the sun angle is lower and stuff
exactly
like that too.
So there's all those things that are also pitting against getting as warm as it's definitely not going to be as warm as what we've had. But
Well, yeah, we're not going to be
it'll
hitting
still be
40 in BC.
Still be above normal.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
it'll be
something
dry.
I did say too. Hitting 40 on the 2nd or 3rd of September is one thing. If we happen on the 15th, I would not know what to think anymore of anything. I would be beyond understanding. So yeah, you can see how we had that low there, right? And that one that's over Ontario and brought the cooler weather into Manitoba and making for some wind warnings and things like that along coastal parts of Ontario there, along the Great Lakes, and special weather statements there right now. And you can see the smoke from BC wildfires. And I think you were pointing this out today too. I think, what did you say? It was going to Missouri or somewhere?
Yeah, it looks like it's gotten a little further, like maybe to St. Louis now. But yeah, it's completely crossed Missouri, and that distance is over 3,000 kilometers from Kitimat to, am I saying that right? Kitimat?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Anyway, from Kitimat to St. Louis, that's over 3,000 kilometers.
Finally got one.
I know. That's because it's a Pacific Northwest native name, and I grew up here, so like it's not that different for my mouth.
You can imagine now there's going to be all these pundits on TV there in America tonight being like, the Canadian smoke's coming over the border.
And the funny thing is most of it's coming from Washington anyway. I think those Washington wildfires are really going crazy up by Snoqualmie Pass and Yakima sort of idea. And then the dynamics are really weird because with this low offshore, it pulls that smoke up into BC, and then the high kind of like loops it around and takes it down into Montana, where Brandon Houck is forecasting for, and all the way out to St. Louis, Missouri, and beyond.
Yeah, they'll be like, there wouldn't be any smoke coming over the border. There wasn't any border. Yeah, they're like, convince themselves to bomb one of our boats. Still pretty active in the Chilcotin today. The Highway 20
Wow,
did get
that's
reopened.
huge. Is
It's
that at one of the
nuts.
volcanoes?
That is on the flank of the Itches. Yep, absolutely. Which may mean that if I go out there once this is all over, that there's, some it's a really hard mountain to get to. I've been wanting to climb up it and get to it, and it's really, there's not a lot of road access. It's just out there, man.
I've
It's
been
just
over
out
in
there.
Tweedsmuir Park.
Yeah, it's a little ways from Tweedsmuir. It kind of starts over here.
Yeah, yeah. No, I saw it on the map and I've been there.
Tweedsmuir is so incredibly huge. So they did get some progress, it sounded like, today on getting the road open through there. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it
the
is open
status
now.
current. Yeah, is it still open? Yep.
Yeah, it's still
Good.
open, but with the caveat that it may close at any time.
Is Coquihalla still closed?
Coquihalla is still closed. They just extended an evacuation order for the Coquihalla Lakes actually within the last hour.
It's not good,
So I
man.
was doing like all my timber cruising, more or less in this area at one point. And
Hey,
we
for
even came
for the people not from the bush, what's timber cruising?
measuring trees, taking samples, and we were working some of these swamps, even laying out roads. We'd like snowmobile across these swamps to do a bunch of cruising in here. Some of those blocks we probably laid out. It makes me kind of ill. So we got pretty close, but yeah, it's not limited road access back there, and you could just see the Itches all the time in the distance. It's like the only thing on the horizon that was. Maybe today I'll get high enough up somewhere where we're going where I can see the Itches. So this one at Manning Park still, well away from the road enough that the road has been kept open. That's the good news, but that's not the case for the Coquihalla. Like Ryan was saying, at K6, 1, 8, 9, or 1. A lot of activity today on both sides of the road, it would appear. So no estimation on the time of reopening that. Someone asked, do you think they'll have it open for the weekend? I said, I'm sure that's what they'd like to do.
Well, but with it having crossed the highway and burning pretty actively, like it's not burning on one side of the highway or the other. Like it's kind of moving down the highway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that would be something they want to achieve. I just don't know how realistic it really is, right?
People
That
are going to
is
have
what-
to get used to the pre-1986 and
Hey,
making
guys,
their way
hey,
down
Joe,
Highway
Joe,
1.
you got a video footage of me and Joe Stover.
Oh, someone's
I
in
got it.
the house.
I got the photo of you and Joe Stover.
You got
It
the
is
video.
coming.
Joe Stover sent you a video.
I never got a video.
I told Joe Stover he sent you a video last Friday. You gotta check everywhere.
I checked, man, and Joe has sent me emails before, so it wouldn't go to my other various things. So we got to tell Joe to send it again, maybe.
Joe,
'Cause
I got to
I
let
got-
him know. I got to let him know. I'm telling him right now.
Okay, well, let's start the show, Frankie. I do. Hey there, hey there. I'm Joey Only Caribbean Weather Dude. This is the Comedy Meteorology Report. Meteorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada and everywhere, really. Just plain old sucks. I'm here with my panel of meteorologists. That includes the wonderful, great Frankie McDonald and friends. We'll be back here in 1 second after the intro goes. Let's go.
Frankie!
Can you yodel for us?
Who has the worst weather in the world, Frankie?
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Yep, that was the wrong clip, actually. That's the Frankie clip. But we'll play the show intro when it's time to play the Frankie clip. That's what we'll do there. We'll balance it out somehow. Okay. Yeah, it's your show about how much the weather sucks, and I kind of suck at doing this too. I'm here with Frankie McDonald, Sydney, Nova Scotia's world-famous weatherman. You all know him as the guy who predicts earthquakes and has blueberries, pies falling from the sky on him sometimes and tries to eat 50 hot dogs at once and things like that. The beautiful, wonderful, and talented Frankie McDonald on the show here with you in just a couple minutes' time with worldwide weather. We got Brandon Hauk, who's here, and was recording his radio bit earlier in the live stream. Of course, if you want to see us live in progress, you can watch the YouTube version every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. at Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. That's where we are. You're also hearing us on the radio in CFR 88.7 FM Prince George, CKOW 95.9 in Winnipeg, CFBX 92.5 Kamloops, and CHLS 100.5 eventually in Lillooet. We're also joined with meteorologist Mark Engels down there on the coastal side of BC, Lower Mainland, and in the same part of the country, province, is Ryan Vadalainen, who is a storm chaser and weather specialist of his own kind. No, not yet, Mark says. He's not a weather specialist yet. I forgot. Well, we're going to have to clear that up tonight. But first, we got to get to the man, the star of the show, Frankie McDonald. And because you've already heard the Frankie intro, here's the show intro this time instead. Yeah, see what we did?
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather or not.
How you doing so far, Frankie McDonald?
I'm doing great. Got cold air hitting for Ontario this weekend coming. It's going to be really cold this Sunday coming in Ontario. It's going to be humid in New York City and Sydney, Nova Scotia. Halifax and rain in the forecast. All across Boston, New York, Washington, D.C. and all those places. It's going to be really humid again. You got some warm air, cold air fighting each other all across eastern United States and America. Then it gets a really cold air heading towards Nova Scotia around early next week as well. Then it got warm air, cold air fighting each other. Then it got extremely winter-like cold weather in Hudson Bay, Ontario. Then it's going to turn rainier than normal and cooler in British Columbia next week as well. And did you hear about this?
What?
It's really hot in California right now, in Arizona, Nevada, with rain and thunderstorms in the forecast in Arizona, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, and Colorado. It's really hot and going to get really hot in Saskatchewan next week as well. Then cold weather returns in Nova Scotia early next week as well. Then it gets some really hot temperatures in South Dakota, southern North Dakota, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and all those places. It's still pretty hot there. And still really hot in Vancouver, British Columbia. And Vancouver, British Columbia is under bad air quality alert. It's really bad there right now. It's lots of rain thunderstorms going on in Mexico right now, Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nigeria, in Honduras and Panama. A lot of rain thunderstorms going on in Central America right now. Weather all across South America. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in South America right now. It's really dry in Chile. Time springs ahead Saturday night and Sunday in Santiago, Chile.
Yeah, there's also 2 hurricanes there off the coast of Mexico. One's kind of headed towards Hawaii, although it will weaken, Frankie.
It's going to be snow up in the mountains and rain coast areas in southern Chile on Monday and the Tuesday coming up. Lots of rain thunderstorms in Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Bolivia, parts of Peru. It's really dry in Amazon rainforest right now. Then it got some storm coming off the coast of Argentina Monday and Tuesday. Then a high pressure system goes counterclockwise in southern hemisphere. And the weather all across England. It's really warm in England right now. Then you got some rain heading towards high winds and heavy rain aiming towards Ireland on Monday. And Northern Ireland, Scotland, and all those places. And then it's going to be some rain showers in France and cooler temperatures in France next week as well. Same with Spain, Portugal. Then you got some rain in Germany and the forecast, Western Germany, Denmark, Netherlands as well. Then you got some really hot air and really warm air in Poland, Belarus, heading towards Moscow, Russia. Then you got some cooler air in Norway, Finland, and Sweden.
Then what, Frankie?
Then you got some warm air heading for Norway, Finland, Sweden as well. And showers in the forecast. In Greece, and it's really dry and hot in Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco. It's lots of dry air and hot air in Croatia Italy, Bosnia, Albania, Greece, Romania, including Serbia and Ukraine and all those places. And the weather all across East Asia. Lots of rain, thunderstorms going off. There's a big rainstorm in Tokyo, Japan right now. It's going to be a lot of rain in southern China right now. In northern China, it's still rainy season there. And Siberia's getting colder right now. A lot of rain, thunderstorms in Hong Kong right now. Taipei, Taiwan, including Philippines. A lot of rain, thunderstorms in Vietnam, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, and Bangladesh, and Myanmar, and Cambodia. And a lot of rain, thunderstorms going on in India right now. In Mumbai, India, New Delhi, India, in Sri Lanka right now. It's raining in eastern Pakistan. In Afghanistan, it's really, really dry. So it's Iran, Iraq, Syria.
There was a
In the
bad
Middle East
earthquake.
right now.
A bad earthquake in Afghanistan killed over 2,200 people, Frankie.
And it's really dry in Saudi Arabia, in our Emirates, Yemen, Oman, Qatar, and all those places right now. There's a lot of rain and thunderstorms in northern Africa right now, like Nigeria again, and all those places. A lot of tropical waves this time of year coming off of west coast of Africa, like near Nigeria again, and all those places. And the weather all across southern Africa, it's really dry in Angola, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Mozambique, Madagascar, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and all those places. Southern Congo, La Reunion, and Mauritius Islands as well. Big rainstorm here for Perth, Western Australia. So in the cold temperatures in Perth, Western Australia, their spring doesn't start till September 22nd. And it got some heavy rain hitting for Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, Melbourne, Brisbane, and all those places, in Canberra. A lot of rain and thunderstorms going on there. In southeastern Australia, this Tuesday coming to cold temperatures and snow up in the mountains. And this tropical winter is not over yet in New Zealand. In really cold temperatures, there was snow in Queenstown, New Zealand this weekend coming. Then it got some really cold temperatures in Wellington, New Zealand, Gisborne, New Zealand, Hamilton, New Zealand, and Plymouth, New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, including Christchurch, Dundee, Nelson, including Queenstown. And even for Cargill, New Zealand, got snow up in the mountains. It got windy and rainy in coast areas in New Zealand and really cold temperatures. And as for that, it's getting to more daylight in Antarctica right now and more darkness up in the Arctic. On September 22nd is 12-hour daylight, 12-hour darkness all over the world, both North Pole and South Pole.
I have never seen that temperature before that I'm seeing on the map right now in Antarctica. I've never seen a weather map actually say minus 75. I've never.
Antarctica will be in their southern hemisphere. Astronomical spring on September 22nd. I got something to say. Time springs ahead in Chile this weekend. Time springs ahead in southeastern Australia in the end of this month.
Right. Good weather report, Frankie. Thanks for the worldwide weather report. It's really good to see what's going on everywhere. Get a real good idea.
Joe Stover's busy over in France, over in the French territory, and he got to go to St. John's Newfoundland on September 7th.
I did hear that he's in France right now. So he crossed the whole ocean, Frankie, after seeing you on Friday. Joe Stover, Frankie.
He's in an island part of France, near Canada.
Oh, okay. Like an island that France still owns that I don't know about?
He's in St. Pierre. It's like 10 kilometers from Newfoundland.
Oh, weird. I didn't know France still had territory here.
Fun fact, that is the only place in North America where the guillotine has been used.
Terrible. Yeah, okay.
I got something to say. Joe Stover, we had the St. John's on Sunday.
I thought I was a geography expert, and generally I am. But that's the first time in a long time where I thought, wow, I didn't know that. Learned something new.
And did you hear about this? I sent you a video about the meteor, big fiddle, and things like this.
Here we go. I didn't get to add those ones to the show, Frankie, because they came too late. But I already made this compilation, Frankie Videos of the Week.
I'd like to say hi to Frankie McDonald from David Smith from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Here's me having a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Here's the chicken sandwich. Hey, Joey. Joe Stover is on his way to Sydney, Nova Scotia to see me in person this evening for Franktown. Joe Stover is on his way to Sydney, Nova Scotia for Franktown. Okay, guys, let's do some dancing. Let's show my moves. This is Frankie McDonald, my own team station live for Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rains headed towards Perth, Western Australia, Friday, September 5th, 2025. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Perth, Western Australia. It's going to be windy conditions in Perth, Australia. I want every single person to be prepared to wear rain gear, rubber boots, and raincoats to keep you dry. Don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles. We go for a walk. Don't drive a car to the puddles either, because a lot of rain is going to happen in Perth, Western Australia, and surrounding areas on Friday, September 5th, 2025. It's going to bring so much heavy rain in Perth, Australia. I want every single person in Perth, Australia to be prepared, since it's going to bring so much rain. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain for people living in Perth, Western Australia, and the surrounding areas as well. Oh my God, it's starting to rain blueberry pies.
Oh no.
It's raining more blueberry pies now.
A lot of them.
There's a lot of rain in blueberry pies.
That doesn't sound like a bad
pies
thing.
falling from the sky.
I'd have my mouth
There's so
open.
many blueberry pies.
So many.
A lot of blueberry pies falling from the sky now.
Eat them, Frankie.
And a lot more blueberry pies.
A lot more.
So many blueberry pies.
Oh.
Hey everybody, it's Frankie though. Things are going great so far. I'm doing really well on my side. I'm having a great night. It's Frank down once again. I'm enjoying the last couple days of August. I'm having a great night. Hey everybody, my dad, Frank McDonald, made his latest song on the SoundCloud Mystic Miss. The title song is Lady Luck. My dad wrote his own lyrics all by himself. He wrote his own lyrics all by himself and played the guitar all by himself and recorded the tracks and mastered a song, and he did a really great job recording his song. More Rubber Paris falling for the sky now.
More of them.
Now.
They're back.
We'll finally stop. Hey everybody, it's Frank though. Things going well so far. I'm having a great night. Things are going really great so far. Let's see how you doing. I'm enjoying my night for Frank Down. Thanks for watching Frank Down.
Wow, that's so many blueberry pies were falling from the sky, Frankie. That's the compilation of Frankie, the best of Frankie McDonald this week.
And the weather for Russia, and so what's going on in Russia so far. Like, we're from Korea backing off. And the weather there.
Time for the Kirill backing off time. The Kirill can't talk to us because Russia won't let that. But we have Frankie here to relay some of the great weather stories of Russia that Kirill Bakanov has been posting on the internet. So
and
Frankie's
here's a share sound.
Here we go. Frankie started screen sharing. We got a big flood, first of all. And there's a lot of vehicles just parked waiting, as if like maybe if they wait a while, they'll be allowed to go. But no, it looks like there's too much water. They should just be turning around. That's a lot of water. Wow, cars up to almost the window, up to the door handles in water. And there's like some kind of a weird van there, like a security van or something like that, up to its almost its mirror, up to its door handle in water underneath this bridge, Frankie. Unbelievable from Kirill Bakanov.
Look at this.
Oh, and that one's over the rear view, or over the side mirrors, and there's a guy standing there next to his car in the water, and he's almost up to his chest. Almost up to his chest in water, folks. A flood in Russia that Frankie has got from Kirill Bakanov. And more vehicles in the street. A lot of them. There are so many vehicles. There's a whole lot of vehicles in the water now. So many vehicles in the water. See what I did there? And some of the good videos from Kirill Bakanov this week. Anyone got a question for Frankie here on the panel? What about even on the anybody out there in the live stream? You could also leave a question in the chat. We'll try to answer them.
I have a question for Frankie.
Meteorologist Mark Engels.
Frankie McDonald, do you think that Ryan Vatalainen is worthy of being dubbed a weather specialist?
That means that Ryan is a weather specialist. He's a guest.
You think we should call him a weather specialist? You think he's earned it?
Ryan, he's the weather specialist. That means he's the guest of Giuliani show tonight.
Well, there you have it. Frankie has more authority than I do, Ryan.
Apparently, and that's okay.
Oh, I thought we'd have some official ceremony, but we just jumped the gun and we're like, you know what? We're 16 minutes into the show and Ryan's not a weather specialist yet. Let's just get on with it.
Well, he was gone for like 13 minutes, spending all his time in the washroom. I wasn't even
No,
sure if he'd be here for
making
it.
dinner. I was listening, but I was making dinner at the same time. The kitchen ain't far. It's just over here.
What kind of things do people in Vancouver eat? Like lettuce?
Salmon.
Kale.
No, it's not me. This is Costco.
Costco kale.
Yeah, the Costco kale and a frozen thing out of a box that's going in the air fryer.
I've been afraid to eat because that weird tooth fell out of the back of my mouth last night finally. And now like my mouth just feels so weird. If I had to do all the talking this episode, I'd probably freak out. I'm not used to my cheek rubbing up against the hole there. It's
My
like
filling fell out last week.
your filling fell out. My whole tooth fell out, man.
I'm getting tube teeth pulled in November.
Meanwhile,
Well, you should come on the show after that.
fresh off the press, Braeburn, Yukon just beat the territorial record for the month of September. It hit 29.2 degrees Celsius today. The previous record was 1951 in Watson Lake when it was 27.8.
I thought you were about to tell us the previous record was 19, and I was like, whoa.
No,
Look, it's been so hot here that my tooth fell out.
There you go.
It's been so hot here. I got a quick meteorology report here from my friend Kelly Green out in Edmonton. He sent me a nice letter this week and a nice little
These
piece
are
of,
always good. I like
piece
this.
of art. Yeah, this one's called Peppers in September, so it should be good. Here's Kelly Green for you coming up right now.
Hello, Joey Only and the Meteorological Report Gang.
Hey,
Kelly
Kelly.
Green coming to you from Edmonton on this day. Another lovely day here in Edmonton. Just a quick glimpse of the garden, what I really wanted to show you guys, which I thought was interesting because I know that y'all are interested in climatological things and stuff. I wanted to show you this pepper plant and these peppers. I don't know if you can see them. I might have to make a cutaway. Anyways, I was really surprised a couple weeks ago at the beginning or just at the start of that huge heat wave that put us over 30 degrees for 6 days in a row. I thought for sure that pepper plant was done. But just in the last week and a half, we've got peppers. So there you go. There's peppers. Here's the community garden. You can hear the LRT in the background. Wishing you all well across this great land of ours. And yeah. Weather. Canada. Bye.
Actually, before we move on, I have a few questions for Kelly. So maybe you can make us a video for next week. But I'm curious to know when your peppers usually come on in the season. Because like my grandparents do a lot of gardening. I wish I had room to garden. But where they're at in Eastern Washington, their tomatoes and peppers, they'll plant them like mid-May, and they're usually coming on by the end of June. But I'm curious to know how it goes in Edmonton that far north.
I can only speak for Wells, in which the time of year when your peppers would be done is never.
Well, yeah, that's what you get for living almost at 4,000 feet, right?
Yeah, basically we can eat what, like, I don't know, Ukrainians can eat and Russians and stuff, like, potato. We can eat potato.
Well,
I mean,
I think
people
they
do have
plenty
some
of those in
greenhouses
Alberta,
here and they have
too.
success. Some people do have greenhouses here, but I'm not one of those guys.
Well,
I mean,
it's all about heating or growing degree days, and I don't imagine Edmonton gets many until pretty late in the season compared to Kennewick and down here. But I was an ag before, just for context, so I'm very interested to know. So Kelly, if you could send us a video about that, that would be neat.
Well,
Take it as a personal request.
one thing they do have on that dry side of the mountains up there is conditions good enough to grow grain, even in the Peace, which is pretty far north.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. With growing some crops over by north of Prince George. I believe
So
we
some of
mentioned that.
some of the most northern grain belts in the world are in the BC Peace region. Like even in the prairie, when you go that far north, you're not getting grain belts, but just along that edge of the mountain, you're still having a spot where you can grow grain and canola and things like that, right? Where their season's not just, and what also helps, and what I can tell you from having cowboyed up there, because you get out in the pasture at 7 a.m. and the sun's already been up for like 50 hours, and You know, it's like there, and then at 6 o'clock at night, you're still out there in the pasture, and the sun that was been here all day is there. You're like, oh man, and there's no trees, and you just like cooking out there, and my face shrivels up until you have to put lip chap like on everything, just like all over.
I should add, Kelly got back to us in the live chat, and he says peppers are more of a modern day thing for Edmonton, and those ones that he showed off were his sisters, so he doesn't know exactly when they start coming on.
That's good and honest. Showing off my sister's peppers. Okay,
Let's
well,
go. Take credit for my sister's work. That's what I do too.
we're just ruthless, man.
He sends us this nice video. We're just roasting him.
Just ruthless. Okay, well, for that, we're gonna have to, wait for you, Mark, and make Brandon Houk go first.
The Brandon Houk Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houk Report.
Brought to you by
Smoking good barbecue.
Actually, Brandon always goes first. I was just teasing.
Speaking of which, I'm just watching the moon, just the waxing gibbous moon just show up. It's just looking at me right there. So
That's
yeah.
because Brandon's done now 200 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Probably.
200.
Very close
Amazing.
to. Like, you came in around 10 episodes in.
I guess, yeah, around 10.
You not missed too many, unless like a hurricane hit your house like happened last month. And even then you showed up for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Showed up for 10 minutes and then dropped right out, That's what happens. That's right. But I have to say, I felt pretty good when you messed up the intros at the beginning because I did the same thing when I filled in for you last time. So there we go.
Yeah, you just got to roll with it there, eh? In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
actually, I meant to do that because it's a comedy meteorology show.
Yeah.
I meant to be bad at doing this.
That's right. Speaking of smoking good barbecue, I had incredible brisket today. Meals in the Field, big Meals in the Field program where we go out to farmers' fields. We feed them a meal. We play them some entertainment, keep them going for the next, for an hour there, and then we pack up and leave. So then we do it all again next week. So every Thursday, I'm going to be having smoking good barbecue before the show. So really good brisket.
Could you bring some to the show and
eat it on the show while you're looking over the screens?
Which
Don't
would be hard
torture
for me
me this
because
way.
I never eat well on Thursdays to begin with for whatever reason. It's like a show thing that as a singer, if you eat before the show, you lose your voice an hour into the show or something, right? You start getting gummy or whatever. So I just got in this habit of show days. I don't eat on show days, but I also can't. I'm afraid I can't chew anything. I'm missing a tooth, so I'll just be in total torture, watching.
Yeah,
you.
good thing I didn't bring the brisket or the corn on the cob we had there and the beans and all that stuff.
I think you should still bring it, but it will be it'll be a lesson.
Well,
me.
if the brisket's any good, you shouldn't need your teeth because it should be melting your mouth. You won't need all of your teeth.
Oh yeah, it just falls off the bone brisket. Yeah, it's that good.
Well, that's why I'm going to miss the Taco Club. Mark closed the Taco Club for the season early this year, and
How
it's
dare
the
you,
taco
Mark?
stand at the Jack Club's Lake, and not the different Mark, yeah. And
Okay.
And his beef burritos, you could just drink them like without having to chew,
I don't know if
for old
I'm on
guys
board
like me
for
that need
that.
dentures. Okay, the Brandon Houk Report.
The Brandon Houk Report. Okay. I do have a couple stories that I missed last week because I talked for 20 minutes last week on the storms. So this week is going to be a little shorter version, I promise. Not going to be 20-minute long version here. But yeah, watching the nice waxing gibbous moonrise here this evening. We had some, fair weather conditions for the last week here. Fairly dry conditions. Had a couple of showers going through. We had quite a bit of wildfire smoke drifting in from the Northwest Territories out of British Columbia last few days, especially last 2 days there. It was very, very thick. And then the cold front came through this morning. Winds gusted about 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, and it blew a lot of the smoke out. So we actually cleared out from the smoke today, which was very nice for that Meals in the Field program that we did. Meanwhile, southern Saskatchewan, Regina, had wind gusts of 80 to 90 kilometers an hour earlier today. And Winnipeg did not reach 10 degrees at all today. No, they only got to 9. So that is the difference between the heat that we were seeing in British Columbia and the cool air across the east. And it was cold enough for snow earlier this morning in Geraldton, Ontario. I found some webcams just outside of the area, and you can see the little snowflakes coming down there earlier this morning with temperatures near the freezing mark. So that cold air continues its move towards the east there. And as we go through the weekend, we're going to see that heat build back into Alberta. We actually didn't cool down that much. We probably saw daytime highs low 20s today, so we didn't get impacted too much by that cold front. So it's still pretty decent weather for the beginning of September here. And we're going to see that heat begin to crank up through the weekend. We could also have a few more plumes of wildfire smoke as well. And we'll see daytime highs pushing low 30s by Sunday into Monday next week. And then we'll see another kind of drop in temperature there, but also the chance of thunderstorms as well through the BC interior and into Alberta as the warm, the above average temperatures likely are going to continue. Okay, so a couple of stories that I missed last week. I kind of wanted to talk about this week. First off, Idaho man. Oh, yes, he takes 96. He broke a record here. He got 96 wet sponges thrown at his face in 1 minute, and he broke a world record. So that just shows there's pretty much nothing to do in Idaho. Yeah, 96 wet sponges. There we go. And then this other fairly interesting story here, the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle here. It's kind of a little bit weather related here. So reason why, I guess it was a bad place for ships and everything back in the day because of rogue waves going in unexpected directions. That
doesn't explain all the disappearing airplanes back in the day, besides the fact that, old airplanes probably didn't work that well.
Wait, what kind of waves did you just call them?
Rogue waves is what the article showed.
No,
yeah.
they're not rouge.
They're rogue. Like
rogue.
You're going rogue.
Yeah. Rogue. That word, yeah.
You just said that wrong, right? That's not how Canadians say rogue.
No, it's not. I hope he said that on the radio like that today.
The Prairie Boys are a different breed.
I hope you said that on the radio.
I did last week, actually.
Rogue waves there, eh? Holy cow, eh? Rogue waves. Look out. Those are the really bad ones. But yeah, it doesn't explain the airplane disappearance. I like the water spout theory that used to be around. What happened to that? Has it been replaced by a rogue wave theory?
Okay. I guess I know what I'm talking about on my segment.
Oh, yes. Over to you, Mark.
That's it? You didn't have anything else? Just mispronouncing rogue and talking about Idaho?
Yeah, there you go. We didn't have much weather this week, so there you have it.
The Brandon Houck report. Classic. Love it. That was a great report. Now, who wants to go next, Ryan or Mark? We're going to fight for it or what?
No, I'm not going to fight Mark. He looks like he's ready to go.
Okay. Mark's ready to go. I'm not necessarily ready, but Mark is. Hey, look it. But now I am ready. I almost played the man.
Just got the fat check for pushing that.
My name, Mark Ingalls.
Pushing that agenda. It says here, HARP, climate change, whatever, in my bank account.
Yeah, we don't have an intro for Ryan yet. Haven't made one. That's got to be on my list.
Well, he just became a weather specialist tonight, so it's okay.
It's 14 minutes ago, especially, yeah.
When we recorded that segment, it was on another episode talking about whatever. And I thought when I started being like, oh, I just got the fat check in my bank account, I thought my brain was going to work. But then when I got to heart climate change, then I kind of just my brain died for a second. And I was like, ugh. That's why my intro sucks so much. But it's almost better that way.
Great comedy. It is. That's great comedy.
So, okay. So I am in White Rock, British Columbia. Today is Thursday, September 4. It is 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on the dot. And if you look behind me, it looks overcast. That's because it is overcast, but it's all smoke. That's right. It's very smoky. Before I get into that, I do want to talk about the Bermuda Triangle. The current prevailing theory for the Bermuda Triangle is not Rug waves, though that is a contributor. Um, all these guys laughing on their cameras. You can't see them, but they're killing me. Anyway, it's hurricanes, which I guess would produce Rug waves. But hurricanes are the prevailing theory, and the point is before the 60s we didn't have weather satellites, and so we didn't know about hurricanes that were out in the open ocean, and so these ships and flights would go unknowingly into hurricanes and never come out. That's the prevailing theory, and I think I remember reading that it had some seasonality to it, and the seasonality lined up with hurricane season.
Well, and
um
not just that, it's that the behavior is kind of tailed off. Like when I was a kid in the 80s, it was like the Bermuda Triangle. And now it's been like 60 years since anything's happened there that's just mysterious vanishing.
Well, right. Now that we have all the data and we know what's going on. So like
And we got radios and everyone,
water spouts definitely have done things, right? We know spouts sink ships, and there are water spouts out there. We see how many there are off of Florida, right? Um, and Rug waves are produced by many different types of weather systems. Um, but yeah, hurricanes are the major factor that are implicated based on our current understanding. So there's that. So yeah, we have all of this smoke here, and I hate it, but at least it's keeping the temperature down a little bit. Joey had one more thought before I move on.
Yeah, before we move on from the Bermuda Triangle thing, is what I actually heard is it's the Bermuda Triangle is actually more of a hexagonal.
Right, because like the traditional idea of the Bermuda Triangle is like Miami to Bermuda to Puerto Rico. You made a joke and I just missed it. I don't know. It's
Yeah, but
late.
they didn't like the name Bermuda Hexagon. Okay, Mark.
Right over my head, man. I've been up since 3:50, but Brandon has too. Okay, so anyway, smoke is very fiery in Washington. That's where most of our smoke is actually coming from. There are a lot of fires in British Columbia, especially. Is that still considered like Western Caribou going out Highway 20?
No, but yes,
The
but no.
Chilcotin is what they call
Oh
it.
yeah, Chilcotin, right? Obviously, I knew that.
It's in the Caribou tourism zone. It's in the Caribou Fire Center. So like the Caribou and Chilcotin are kind of, one big region, even though they're two different regions in a sense. Does that
Well,
make any
we'll
sense?
we'll call it Chilcotin. I knew that from the landslide last year, but I just didn't think about it. Anyway, so there are a lot of wildfires up there, and there's one up Coquihalla Highway. But most of our smoke is coming from Washington. We've got this low pressure system offshore that's producing like southerly/southwesterly flow over the lower mainland, pulling that maybe even a little southeasterly. This weather system's very weird because we got low pressure offshore, huge ridge inland, and then we got this huge low over the prairies. So this is just and we have multiple lows offshore. So it's just very chaotic, very hard to like, it's very hard for me as a meteorologist to like message it because there's so many different things going on. And how do I say this concisely? And
Well, and
also, I
usually
think the weather.
we're looking for a winner often in these patterns. Like this is the winner. It's the story, and it's going to change what everything else is doing. And so all the different low pressure systems going on, we still don't have a winner here in BC. Like that's how I felt about it
Right.
lately.
Well, and I think the weather models are really struggling with it too, um, because this weather system does feel very unusual. As we talked about in the pre-show, it's been quite hot in a lot of the province. Ashcroft hit 40, but I'll leave that to Ryan to give in more detail. We will get some more. We're going to move one of these low pressure systems closer to the shore over the weekend. For the lower mainland, that's going to produce a stronger marine layer. And so we may be getting some drizzle and some cloud cover and somewhat moderated temperatures out of that. But quite a bit of thunderstorm activity for the interior of the province. And that's, with any thunderstorms this time of year, we're looking at possibility of dry lightning and new fire starts. but it should cool temperatures down somewhat. I think it moderates the ridge that's in place over the interior. But then we do see a signal for wetter conditions coming in. And for a while, it looked like we were going to reset and this long lasting, we have this long lasting cold system over the eastern half of the country. We talked about how Winnipeg has absolutely beautiful weather today with a high of 9 degrees. Perfect. That's it. That's where I want to be today. Never thought I'd say that, but that's where I want to be. Winnipeg, I'm jealous of you. But anyway, um,
It changed
after
as soon as you got there.
I don't know. That's my favorite weather.
And
There
it'll
aren't
be
many
30 degrees
mosquitoes
when
at
you show
night.
up.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah, that'll
true. That's
change too.
true.
Yeah.
But it kind of looked like for a while we would flip that pattern and have cool, moist weather here in BC for most of the second half of the month. Well, now it's looking like we do kind of flip the pattern and we do get more active, but that doesn't last very long at all. And the signal is that we return to above average conditions for the end of the month. Now, it's not going to be as hot as it was and has been because it'll be later in the month, later into fall, um, later, sun angles lower, less daytime sunshine and whatever. So we're not looking at 40 degrees in Ashcroft or Soyuz or whatever, but above average and dry. I think September is going to come in above average and dry for most of the province. No clear view for October. We are in end zone neutral, which implies a more active storm pattern for the fall, but we're definitely not starting off with that. So that's where we're at here. As these lows come in, we should be able to get some of the smoke out of the lower mainland. But as we get it out of the lower mainland, we're going to push it into the BC interior. So if you're listening to us on the radio up there, well, if you want to get out of the smoke, come say hello to me in White Rock, where it is beautifully drizzly. Yeah. Oh, also, I set up for Halloween on Labor Day because I like being happy. Um, so I'll show you a little bit here. I'll show you radio listeners a little bit here but my wife's going to be mad because the table's kind of messy. But here's my quilt, my Halloween quilt that my grandma made us a couple of years ago. It has like Frankenstein and a pumpkin and a spider, and some of these things glow in the dark even, and some ghosties. We got our oh, maybe I can do this. We got our tree up, but it's orange and purple. I paid a lot for this tree, so I'm going to use it. Okay.
It's a
We
Halloween
control it
tree.
on the phone. We could put some tarot cards on it, and at the top of the Halloween tree, there's a ghost. So
Oh.
instead of an angel, there's a ghost. So we are in the Burr months. Holiday season has started in the Ingalls household, and all you haters can just keep hating because that's not my problem. Okay, that's all I have for this evening. Enjoy your Rug waves.
Ah, yeah, you got the Rug in there.
Oh, wait, actually, no, I was wrong. I'm not done yet. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Castbox, and I'm on Facebook as Ingalls Weather. Okay, now I'm done.
Ah, right on. Mark Ingalls, meteorologist Mark Ingalls there. Your latest Rug weather update there. Okay, thanks very much, Mark. You're a beauty. Wonderful. Ryan Vadalainen, you've been so patiently sitting there eating your lettuce and
Eating my lettuce. No, cooking my chicken from a box.
Nice. I'm just teasing, that's what.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, you took a drive out there and you seen the fire that's got Highway 5 shut down right now.
I
Start.
actually saw it like both directions. Well, actually, I saw it from all three highways. And I saw it before it even happened. So on the 29th, I was actually driving to the Okanagan, and I was excited because I love my thunderstorms because we don't get them here on the coast, as we all know, except when I'm not here, which also happened while I was because that's what happens to me every single time. So yeah, on the 29th, on the Thursday night, there was the thunderstorm that was moving up from the south in this monsoonal flow, which is kind of keeps happening. We're going to have it again, possibly again here in the next couple of days, which is why it's been so humid around here on the coast as well. But yeah, that storm rolled through on Thursday evening. came up from the south and shot a whole bunch of lightning bolts near the Brookmere area, between just past the summit of the Coquihalla. And then, yeah, on my drive back on Labor Day Monday, you could see the smoke from the Hope Princeton. And then, of course, yesterday with all that heat and the unstable air above it, all hell broke loose, and that fire really took off yesterday. So I could see it, also the smoke from it, as I was driving up to Lytton. So I was hopeful yesterday that Lytton, I don't know, there's not very many of us that actually go chase heat, which is kind of an unusual type of thing, weather to be chasing. But I went on up on my own after I got up early, did my early work shift, and left at 1:30 and made it up to Lytton. And I was hopeful that I would hit it. I got 41 degrees right by the big Lytton sign, but that was over a bunch of asphalt and rock, so we can't really use that anyway. But we hung out around there, and of course, because this always happens to me, always close, but never close enough.
Ashcroft snuck in the back door.
Ashcroft snuck in there yesterday and hit that 40.8, while Lytton made it to 39.7. So I missed it, but that's okay. I still got my 40-degree temperature as far as I'm concerned this year, and because we round up, right? But that's one of the hottest. Of course, that was the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded in Canada in September. So it was a hot one. That said, I figured out some of our other 40 numbers for May through September. So of course we just beat this one. 1934 apparently was Morden at 42.2. In July of 1937, Yellowgrass, who was the holder of the hottest temperature in the country until Lytton beat that in 2021, was 45 degrees in July of 1937. And then Rosetown and Maple Creek North, so right near Jenny Hagen, if she was on today, she could celebrate this. 1949 and 1961, 43.3. So we have had 40s in the past. It's just how frequently they seem to be happening of late around these parts. It gets hot up there in that area between Lytton and Ashcroft, that's for sure.
Well, and one thing I should pull this up even and look and show you. Where else in the world are we getting? It's too bad I don't have. So
this was interesting as well, though. It was the hottest September day anywhere north of 50 degrees north.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at, is that we have 40s right now on Earth that are expected, say, tonight, which is during the day in Iraq.
Yeah.
And Saudi Arabia and Algeria. And well, look where they are on the globe compared to where BC is. That's what's really impressive, is we're a lot further north than anywhere else that gets weather like that, any regularity.
Exactly. And that's where I mentioned the Yukon today, although 28 degrees or 29.2 degrees in Brayburn is not very, it's not spectacular for Lytton, but when you're up north of 60, that's hot.
So I did have the windy map up that kind of show what I was talking about, but I also have this that I've had sitting here waiting to be looked at today, which was, we did break some records today, right? Even though it's less of an insane heat day, 36.7 set in Lillooet today. That's the old, that tied the old record that was set in 1934. So Lytton hit 38.8 today. So you definitely hit the hottest it was going to get. Smithers, 28.1. That tied its old record. Summerland, 31.5. I guess it's still summer in most people's minds, even though we meteorologically think of it as we're now moving towards fall. Tatlioko, 32.1 today, just nudging their old record. And that's, of course, a bad sign for their fire activity today. That hot weather would have driven that fire behavior, as we kind of seen on the firm's map earlier, a fair bit. There's some other records to look at in Canada that were set today in details, but like Ryan was saying, Carmack's up to 28.3 today in the Yukon. That's the highest I see in the Yukon. It's far north there. It's often like full on fall there at this time of year.
So another interesting record was also broken yesterday, and people have commented about Vancouver and Lower Mainland how it seems to be, and this is anecdotal, becoming increasingly more humid around here. But yesterday, with at 11:40 a.m., YVR had a dew point of 19.8 degrees Celsius, which is the highest dew point we've ever recorded in September.
Do you want to explain for the radio listeners and the viewers here what makes dew point important?
So dew point is important because it tells you, so at whatever temperature you're at, that's the temperature that you have to drop the theoretical temperature to hit 100% humidity. So, and the warmer an air mass is, the more humidity that it can hold. So when you start getting dew points in the 20s and that sort of thing, it is humid, and your air mass is holding a lot more moisture. So any temperature below that 19.8 couldn't hold as much moisture in the air. If it went lower, it would actually have to fall out of the air somehow, either via rain or mist or something like that.
This is because warm air has more capacity to hold moisture as well.
Exactly.
Whereas cold air has virtually none. Cold air, minus 40 has no capability of holding moisture, for example. And that's why you look up in the sky sometimes, you see some contrails from an aircraft, and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? They're flying through minus 40 is what they're doing.
Exactly.
That's what you're seeing. Most of the time when you're seeing a contrail, it's minus 40 up there or below. So just to clear that one up with everybody, clear that one up. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy hot, man. And even in New Brunswick, they're still setting temperature records there at Basse Caraquet. They went to 26.9 yesterday, which isn't a great jump over their old, and Miscou tied their old record. But they're still having their own active fire weather in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, in that it's been very dry there and it hasn't improved a whole lot.
Oh, certainly. And Lytton, I think this year too, it's the fifth or fourth time that they've done 40 degrees 4 days in a row.
It's
crazy. They did in August.
40 is crazy. People don't seem to get this. Like they're trying to rewrite history and rewrite science. Like, 40, that's nothing. That's summer. No, 40 is crazy. 40 is a crazy temperature.
Yeah. And we have had them back in the 30s and that sort of thing in the prairies, but you also have to look at what the scenario was. We had crops that were failing in back then too. We had the whole Dust Bowl was happening at that time.
There was a miniature climate cycle that happened in the 30s that was, impacting globally.
Exactly.
That coincided with economic crash and everything as well. So like the depression, it wasn't just a financial depression. It was like a physical depression on the land. Some describe it as. These big dust storms that Woody Guthrie's always singing about back then, right? Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So us again.
So I did some chasing of my own this week that wasn't your typical chasing as well. You know what I did was we had a couple fires take off here. It's funny because I went and did something last weekend, and I could see a couple little congestus, a little bit of cumulus congestus. And I was like, I wonder. I thought about that cumulus congestus. Maybe it'll get cohesive, and we'll, even though there's no lightning forecast here, have a couple shots of lightning in the area. But I got plans today. I'm not going to hang around wells for 3 cumulus puffs to see if they go towering or not. And I drove away, and I just knew it. And then what happened was it exactly did that. It became a storm, and it made one fire, and that took off immediately and was hit pretty quickly. So I missed that whole show. But then the next day, as we were up into the 30 temperature mark, this started torching off outside wells, and I went for a drive out there and took various different shots of it doing what it's doing there. And as you can see, very impressive pyrocumulus column there. Really big stack.
Then he got some showers heading for Wells, British Columbia. Lots of rain for Monday in Wells.
Yeah, the thunderstorms are coming, Frankie. They're going to be dry at first. They're going to start new fires, but then eventually we're going to have some rain to go on top of them. So this was really exciting looking fire that day. You know what was happening was black chunks were falling on me. I'm 5 kilometers from the fire. I checked that on firms because I know my exact location I was standing in. I was able to reference, hey, what's the exact distance from this fire's edge to where I was standing? And it was over 5 kilometers. So I'm 5 kilometers away.
This could be your last chance to fight fires.
I'm folded for the season, Frankie. I'm done. No chance of it. But and you can see the smoke's not really blowing my direction, but as it's spreading, it's hitting that atmospheric layer and spreading out a lot. And this black stuff was falling on me, chunks of spruce needles and things like that. It was really quite impressive. What happened was, though, we hit dew point, like Ryan was talking about, where the air was so saturated with humidity. We got down to that temperature, and for wells that night, it was probably 6, 7, or 8 degrees, at most 8. 8 was the lowest I personally saw when looking at. I mean, I could go look at my records here and pull up the exacts. Nonetheless, we hit dew point, so that helped cool the fire down a little bit. And then the smoke, all the smoke, locally, it was a big, thick, heavy deck of smoke that was over here, prevented the sun from getting in. But then even once the smoke kind of pushed out or was allowed to let some sunlight in, at the higher level was smoke from the Chilcotin fires. So we didn't get that temperature expectation on Tuesday. The sun never really broke through, and we didn't get above 25 at any point. And this fire didn't take, so it's gone quiet here. It's gone quiet. We had a warmer day here today, finally, more sunlight through, but our fires seem quiet. But I could watch images like that all day long, Frankie, all day long.
And that means that next year you'll be back fighting fires again.
Maybe. Part of me thinks I'm retired. I haven't really said that out loud to anybody yet. But I feel like my fire career feel like I'm ready to move on, or, I want to go chase some tornadoes in the prairies and play gigs like I used to and do things and have a summer. I don't like how much of my life I've spent waiting around for work and then have seasons like this where it's like really hit or miss, a couple pulls here and there. And that's the game. I get it. Some years are really busy. I'm 46 years old and I'm starting to think about what do I want to do still in my life. So I don't know, Frankie. I don't know if I'm ever going to be out there again. I just don't know. Maybe someone will change my mind. Maybe someone will throw money at me.
Back in 20 years ago, I was in the Sydney Academy drama group.
Were you?
Bueno Mello. I was in that movie with the high school drama group in 2004, 2005 in my postgraduate year.
Yeah? Was it a good movie?
It's a great movie.
That's great. We want to see it sometime, Frankie. Yeah, my kids are getting older. I feel like I'm missing out on. For example, this year, one of our friends, he's from Vancouver Island, and he goes and chases. See if you can guess who this is. Chases Thunderstorms in. Yeah, Josh Palmer.
Oh, Josh, yeah.
Josh Palmer said to me in July, "Hey, you want to come to the prairies for 2 weeks?" And I said, "I can't. The boss needs me to wait by the phone, and then he went and got epic footage, and I could have been there with him. And I'm getting to that point where I'm just ready for new things in my life. I'm getting old. My teeth are falling out.
That means that this time 10 years ago, Gary and Dino interview me every Wednesday nights at 12 a.m. Atlantic.
That's when it started, 10 years ago?
Gary Dino first mentioned about me in 2010. He interviewed me every Wednesday nights in 2015.
Yeah, the Gary and Dino show is a pretty good show. I like those guys. Not only are they more popular than us, but they're also smart and handsome and funny.
When is the last time you've been on Gary and Dino show?
A couple months ago. Saturdays are just sort of terrible for me. It's like, it's kind of the day where I do the least amount of...
Gary and Dino show every week.
Saturday's the day where I hardly pay attention to social media at all, and sometimes Sunday is too. Where to sit down at my computer is hard to do.
You've been on Gary Dino show last week.
I didn't go on last week. A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I've always got my kids on the weekends, and then, they go to bed, and it's just like, I don't feel like talking to anybody and being down here, keeping them awake, blabbing away. And, just usually by that time on Saturday, I've had my full day with the kids, and I'm like, I'm just going to sit here.
Mark Ingles could be on Gary Dino show if he's not busy on Saturday.
I love those guys. It's nothing... Nothing like that. Just if it was on a Wednesday night, I'd be there every week, because what am I doing on a Wednesday night? Nothing. Ever.
That Gary and Dino used to do a show every Wednesday night.
Yeah, they used to.
10 years
That's
ago.
over now. How can people find you on the internet, Frankie?
If you want to find me on social media, my Reddit is FrankDoll984. My Blue Sky is at Frankie MacD. My X4Me Twitter is at Frankie MacD. And my Threads is at Frankie McDonald. Frankie MacD94, and my link tree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD94. My TikTok is FrankieDonald94. My Clapper is FrankieDonald94. My Twitch is FrankieDonald94. My Snapchat is Frankie MCD1. My YouTube channel is Dogs Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Meteorological Weather Report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Atlantic.
That's right. That's Frankie McDonald, and of course Brandon
And
Houck.
I got something else to show you. And did you hear about this? That guy drove all the way to Sydney, Nova Scotia from South Carolina to meet me in person.
That guy
On
did.
a motorcycle.
That sounds cool. Let's see this, Frankie.
Introducing that guy.
That guy.
I will say
There
hi
he
to
is.
Robert Downey Jr., the guy who played Iron Man.
Iron Man.
I'm doing great so far. The Iron Man actor, Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU.
That's right.
And Chris Evans, the guy who played original Captain America. I'll say hi to Chris Evans as well. Hi, Tom Holland, the guy who played Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And I'll say hi to Chris Hemsworth, the guy who played Thor.
Thor. Can we yell Bitcoin?
Bitcoin!
Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Ah, that guy's really nice. That guy's really nice. So here with Ryan Vetalainen still, and also had Mark Ingalls, meteorologist from down the coast there. A couple weather specialists here. And we had Brandon Houck, as per always. Hey, Brandon, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Star Wars? I think I've only seen one. Oh, by the way, Darth Vader selling his lightsaber for $3 million if you want it. Yes.
I don't have $3 million anymore. Now, my favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One.
Rogue. Aha.
I seen that movie in December 2016.
Not to be confused with the other one there, Mulan Rogue.
There we go.
Well, that was a classic. But that was thanks, man. You made our night with that one. Sometimes you got to be the one who takes it for the team. This week it was Brandon Houck. Next week it'll be me again. Yeah, between now and then, more teeth will fall out, and I'll look even older and more hideous. Trust me, it's coming.
I'll come up with more words.
Yeah, at least you can't see it when I'm like talking or like, it doesn't look like I'm missing teeth. So that's good. That's okay. Well, you've been listening to us on C for 88.7 FM in Prince George, where you can't see my missing teeth. Even if you're looking at me, you couldn't see it either. It's hidden. And you're also hearing us on CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg, CFBX Kamloops 92.5. And if we're not airing yet on CHLS 100.5, they've had a technical problem. And they've not been airing us, but it's not that they don't want to. And yeah, technical. What happens with small town radio stations? They sometimes need new computers. That's what happens. Community funded radio and whatnot. So we're cheering for CHLS. If you live in the Lillooet area, drop down in there and make a donation to them. Help get that radio station up to technological future. Okay, that's the show for this week, everybody. That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the Roog show. Yep.
Yeah, we went Roog this week.
Did you hear about this? I got news for you. Christmas Day is on the Thursday this year. That means December the 18th will be the last meteorological weather report before Christmas.
Oh, are we going to have a show on Christmas Day? That'd be pretty tough to do, eh?
It's going to be a tough thing. That means you got to deal with kids on Christmas Day.
Yeah, well, I probably won't even have them on the afternoon of Christmas Day. I often don't. I haven't for the last few years.
People be too busy with their families on Christmas Day.
For the last few years, I've had them on Boxing Day.
That means Mark Ingalls will be busy with his family on Christmas Day. Brandon Houck will be busy with his family. And all the other guys on your podcast will be busy.
Pretty much everybody but me will be busy with family, yeah. Yeah.
The Finns, we do it on Christmas Eve, so we've got it all done and out of the way on Christmas Day.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, how we used to do it, although my family's all in Ontario, so it doesn't matter. But we used to do our gift giving on Sinterklaas, which is December 6th.
It's a Dutch thing.
Yes.
That means
You
in
know,
the old days, you used to do a meteorological weather report every Sunday night.
I did. Yeah, we could always have a Christmas Sunday special.
Then it'll be Sunday, will be the makeup day. That's the old slot.
Okay, that's what Frankie's got a schedule for.
For the next 2 Sundays, because New Year's Day's on Thursday as well.
Oh yeah. New Year's Day is okay.
New Year's Day's on Thursday.
New
On
Year's
Christmas-
Eve would be a tough one to have the show on.
Trevor interviewed me one last time on New Year's Day early this year, before he died.
Yeah, he did die. Rest in peace, Trevor Garner.
That was his last interview with me. Is New Year's Day 2025.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. We were all talking to him like a week before that, and then suddenly he was gone, eh?
I was talking to him on January 1st, 2025. That was Trevor's last interview with me.
But he had a group phone call that we were all in, remember?
Yes, January 1st, 2025.
And then it wasn't like on a show, like a group phone call, like just a group call, and people were talking to Trevor. It wasn't even part of his show. And like, well, I think I'm dying, and then like then he died.
Trevor did his final podcast. Trevor did his final podcast as Trevor's Happy Hour on January 1st, 2025. That was my final appearance on Trevor's Happy Hour before Trevor died.
Yeah, we will miss Trevor Garner. The Trevor's Happy Hour continues, even though Trevor's not there anymore. They still call it
You're
Trevor's
part of
Happy
Trevor's
Hour.
Happy Hour Facebook group.
Yeah, I am. I do. Yeah, I get those messages. I do. I did want to mention a couple shout outs too,
One of
Frankie.
Kevin Noble could be Trevor's successor or Savannah.
Wanted to make a couple thank yous this week. Of course, I got some letters sent to me. I didn't make my letter of the day yet. I should make that short yet. I could make it right now if you guys want. Do you know what my letter of the day is, Frankie? Is Frankie already gone?
Yep.
The second I yeah, that makes sense. Actually, wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna say this. Tune in right now. I'm send this to somebody because I want to give a shout out first of all to Anne. I'm just sending her the link right now. So I'm gonna wait a second to shout Anne out because I want her to see that and tune in. Edith sent me a donation this week, and with Facebook monetization coming off and on, I just have a lot of this up in the air. Like, well, I'm succeeding. I'm making it as a content creator, and then I'm like, am I going to keep making it? And just these donations that people send in, like Edith sent this week, really make a difference, and sent me a deposit today as well. And I just want to thank you guys. These letters that I've been getting from people too, they're really, really important for a lot of reasons, actually. So I'm gonna while we're making the podcast here, I'm gonna read this letter out, and I'm gonna hit record on my phone so I can make a short of it. The letters of the day. This is the letter of the day. People writing to support Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. I really appreciate it because you're the ones that someday I can put a stack down and be like, look, the public supports me. Here's 100 letters from people in the public who say, like, that's why you should invest in my product that I'm making here. That kind of thing, right? I'm trying to do something with this. So I got this letter from somebody right now. And while we're making the podcast and recording a short at the same time, it says here from Catherine, Dear Mr. Only, I am writing in response to yourself. I love your weather forecasts. As a loyal follower, I would like to know how much I get from your reports. I would like you to know how much it's written in handwriting, so it's a little, I have to take a second to read. Please keep up the great work. Don't give up. It's important the general public be given up-to-date weather reports. May this letter find you safe and sound. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Catherine. That's so great. Thank you so much, Catherine. These letters, I have a big purpose in mind, and all these letters, including Kelly Green's that he sent me this week, go along with some of the donations from people like Anne that are really helping me maintain my empire and going to help me grow it in the long run. Thank you very, very much. That is the letter of support from the day, the viewer of the day. Thank you very much. Okay, I just made a short. I'm going to put that up on the YouTube at some point, or on the Facebook and YouTube. I like to just shout people out too that are supporting me. Can't do this alone. Unlike Hauk, who's a very successful media person, not just social media, but actual media. I'm still on the fringes clawing and scraping and scratching and trying to be like, I'm here. I'm in the door. You're not getting rid of me. So that's why I appreciate having you around, Hauk.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it took me.
Because you're
I
legit.
remember at the beginning, I was about 10. When I first started Facebook, I think I had like 10 friends, and then later had 100. And it was mostly everybody in high school, so they weren't really like totally into it, It was kind of. But then I started getting everybody adding me on Facebook, so from the community here. So then I just put one little. Back in the day when I first started, there was like one weather post a day, one post a day.
That was my way too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and then there's more posts, more. Oh yeah, now 20 years. Yeah, 20 years later. Yeah, it's wild. No, not 20 years. More like 15, but yeah, 2008, 2009. Crazy.
Well, what happened was I had my popularity from being this musician, right?
Oh, yeah.
That is the true story. So then what happened was suddenly I started making weather posts more and more. I've always had this weather thing. It's just didn't really have a place to talk about it or anywhere to talk. I'm just always loving the weather. But so I started making these weather posts. I think a lot of people were like, Joey's gone weird. He's talking about the weather a lot these days. Our outlaw country singer is now living up in the mountains, and he's just talking about the weather a lot. So I think it took a little while for me to kind of win over a lot of the people I already had on my side. Like, hey, I'm more than just, Another example of my music career that was this band was going to hire a bass player. I was like, well, you could hire me. And they're like, well, but you're a singer who plays guitar. And I was like, my first instrument was the bass, but so you get pigeonholed, right? People are like, that's what this guy is. And it's like, no, actually I'm a drummer and a bass player. It just so happened that, my music career, what happened was I got tired of having to join new bands. What happens if you're a drummer and a bass player and you don't have a band to play in? You're just sitting there. It's really crappy. It sucks. It's like being in the band is what you need to be. Like you can't sit at home and play drums alone forever and feel. Whereas you could sit at home and sing songs and feel really not like, I don't know. I play drums a lot here, so I don't know how to explain that. It's just, you can't professionally grow without a unit, right? And then every time I'm in a good band, back when I was in 17, 18, 22, the band would eventually have somebody move away or get married or get sick or break up or just can't happen, or I had to go to school. So then I was like, well, why don't I just, if I didn't have to have a band, if I just sang for a while, at least that would carry me through until something works out. And then somehow I became the band, and it wasn't really my goal. I really liked being a bass player because you just go out in the back and you get real baked, and then you come in and sit there in the back and play notes and be like, yeah. Everything's awesome, man. I'm so high. Like that's what being a bass player is. Whereas when you're the singer, you're like, you wake up in the morning, you're like, mia, 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 me. Oh, it hurts today, and and then you gotta like talk to everybody, and oh, I love your songs, and hey, and it's like you're like the thing, and it's like when you're the bass player, you're just like, well, call me, like, let me know before we start. I'm just over here smoking dope. Not caring about anything, just being a bass player. It's like it's the best job ever. Being a bass player, you don't have to care about anything. You're the singer, you got to care about everything. I was like, I didn't want to be that guy. It just happened until it didn't happen anymore. And
so I have a complete. Brandon, I want you to tell me, how do you pronounce the name of that fire rescue organization that's posted on Joey's locker there?
Oh. Fire, it's pretty small.
You can't see that it's spelled YMIR.
Oh, YMIR. Ymir, yeah.
Almost. Yeah, almost. That's Weimer.
Weimar. I don't know how they came up with that pronunciation because I was kind of when I went and spent 2 weeks running the SPCA in Nelson. Somebody mentioned the name, and I was like, oh. That's how you pronounce it, because I would have had no idea.
They didn't send you over to Yak instead, eh?
No.
Yeah, Yak, BC. That's right.
They got goats on the roof though. There, that's pretty cool.
I had seen that in the past.
Not yaks on the roof.
No yaks, just goats on the roof and yak.
Oh yeah, I think it was a store or something. I forget what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Got out of the car and just looked at these goats on the roof eating grass on top of this roof. Wow, how do they get them up there? Yeah.
Because they have that in Coombs as well on Vancouver Island.
Okay, yeah.
We had a trailer bounce off the hitch by yak.
Oh, wow.
We fixed it. We were okay.
Meanwhile, I'm nibbling on my Chilliwack corn. So when I went to the Okanagan on the weekend, they did mention everywhere I went. We went to an orchard. We went to a winery, maybe 8. I left with too much, but everybody was talking about how this year, although we're getting the fires now, the growing season apparently in the Okanagan and down here in the Lower Mainland has been the best we've had in several years, which was nice to hear from people.
Well,
after
we had
some of the
heat.
brutal weather we've had.
We had the heat, and that's great, but we also had a fair bit of rain come through at various times, right? So it never got that dry. I mean,
and no
growing season.
no big hailstorms or wind events either, because that's what happened a couple of years in the Okanagan where the big hail came through and either towards the end of the season or the middle and damaged half the crops.
That's true. I tried to grow tomatoes 2 years in a row here, maybe 3 years in a row in Wells. Like, well, it'll work. Sometimes people had a tomato that produced in Wells. It might have happened this year. We didn't, sometimes the tomato survives, and then finally it was doing really well. I had tomato plants. They started out with green tomatoes all over them. They're looking really good. And then 6 inches of hail happened. Not 6-inch hailstones, just 6 inches of hail.
That's how we do hail around.
Yeah, it was like I
but
came back into Wells and it literally was just piled. I was like, wow. So much for them tomatoes. So much for them tomatoes. I could probably eat tomatoes still with no teeth. Yeah. Can't believe it.
John Cassidy, though, for those that you know who he is, he's a seismologist for Natural Resources Canada. No, Natural Resources Canada. He's growing citrus fruit in his garden. He's got limes and lemons that are in his tree in Victoria that keep producing.
Well, Victoria's a very Mediterranean climate.
It is. People forget that. Well, I got bananas down there too on occasion.
Like proper Mediterranean climate. The north end of it, I guess, but much of the U.S. coast, I think, qualifies as Mediterranean. If I'm not mistaken.
It is. And people think those palm trees in California didn't exist until they were imported.
Did you like how I stuck that Bermuda hexagon right past Mark there? that
was funny.
That was good. Yeah.
That was good.
Gotcha.
Now the bandit season's getting started. That means I'm going to get all their names wrong on the air. I can't wait.
Well, you can do is you can talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
When you're around the book's bandits, have a notepad and be like, hey, how do you say your name?
I have somebody to do that, but they write it down, they spell it out, and there's a couple of them where I still can't say it. Oh, yeah.
You just need to practice Voutilainen. If you can pronounce my last name, you can pronounce any name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I always say it Vout more than vote.
Yeah, it's Vo. O-U in Finnish sounds like an O.
Now I'm the jerk who says things wrong.
It's okay.
Take a look.
I'm used to it.
So we got Huseman. Oh, yes. Danilo Korzylewski. Okay, I got that one. Okay.
Korzylewski, that's... You got to tell a kid with a name like that, sorry, you can't play hockey. No one's going to be able to pronounce your name.
Actually, he's pretty good. Yeah, they didn't update the roster. Huey Hooker's still on there. I like that guy.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Didn't get many hooking penalties. I was hoping he'd get some hooking penalties so I can announce that on the radio. Huey Hooker got a hooking penalty. But he didn't.
Not even one, eh?
Not even one.
You need to go and pay the refs.
Too bad he wasn't playing in 2006 when, like, that's all refs called all day long. They're just like, hooking, hooking, hooking. That's a hook.
Yeah.
Man, it was hard to watch hockey. I was like, I like the old days when people just beat each other. They called that hockey.
I have no roster. Okay, hold on. Try brooksbandits.net. Trying to find a roster. Team. Let's go on there.
So
I'm trying to find a name. Tough.
If somebody wants to see Brandon, they have to make a hook.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Make a hook.
Yeah, tell him to go Roog this year and just start hooking people.
Yeah, there you go. We can do that. Not showing me your roster. Damn you guys. All right.
That really kills a bit, eh?
Yeah, killed the bit.
And you're like, come on, guys, get your rosters up. Like,
So I know I
You're in the-
wrote some names down here. Hold
you're in
on.
the BCHL now. It's not.
wait. I do have
It's not like
the list here.
the old days in the Alberta League where just no one
Okay.
cared. Like, we want your roster. You're in the big time there, BC Hockey League, Brooks, Alberta. Get it together.
Oh, this guy. Mikas Big Vanicus.
Big Vanicus?
I still said that one wrong.
Let's see how the spelling. Let's help Coach Brandon through these names.
Okay, so Mikus
Mikas, yeah.
VEC Van AGS. Yes.
Can you like show us physically?
Well, if you can read the
Yeah. Here we go.
Probably. It's all on a piece of paper, you know. That was my
it
notes from
almost
last
there.
year.
It was almost for a split second I saw it, but then because we kept making sounds, so like talk for a second and then point to the one.
Okay, so there's the list. This is the list of all the bandits' names from last year. Majority of them I messed up all year long. A couple of
Brooks
them I actually got.
Were they on the Bandits last year? The same person.
Yeah, he was.
Bandits.
Okay.
Mikas. So I saw the Mikas, but it's just a little too
Mikas.
blurry.
Like Van Kiss, or yeah.
Okay, we're gonna figure
That's
this
one
out.
of them. And then I've always struggled with Dante Siciliano. Oh yeah.
Siciliano, yeah. Oh, Vec Vanigs.
Yeah.
The goaltender.
Yeah.
Mikas Vecvanigs. VECVANAGS. Vecvanigs. Does that sound right to you, Vodaland?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Oh yeah.
I don't even
It's
know
a
what
really jarring name.
nationality is that one.
Vecvanigs. It seems like it should be two names. Like, hey, my name is Vic Vanix.
And then Matic Typlay. I've always messed that one. Oh yeah, that was another one. Matic Typlay. Yeah.
Matage.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding out
Matty Typlay, yep.
how they pronounce those things phonetically and whatever whatever language that is. That's I think it's Czech.
Oh yeah, check. We're gonna. I hear there's even harder names this year, so here we go. Gonna be fun. Doing intermission reports.
Okay, so we got Cooper Pearson, Josh Weeb,
Oh, yeah.
Jack Rosensteel,
Yeah, those ones were easy.
Mathis Dufour.
Dufour, yeah.
Yeah. Nathan Free. That's quite the name there. David
Oh, yeah.
Patella, Nathan Brown, Luke
Or is that
Bibby.
or is that Davide? Some people when they have an E at the
Oh,
end.
Davide Patel, yeah.
Yeah, see Davide.
Ah, Davide.
I got that one, yeah. It took me a while.
It's not David, eh?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, then Luke Bibby.
Yep.
And
Luke
Parker
Bibby.
Lalonde, that's easy. But then you get to Mikhail Lisinski.
Mikhail Lashinsky, yeah.
That's
I
a
got
tough
that
one.
one.
Lisinski, yeah. Okay. Nick Peluso, Jace Letourneau, Liam Fitzpatrick, Brock Such,
Brock Such, yep.
Such,
Yeah.
Jack Good, I'm surprised that's a Such. Caden Drury, Isaac Johnson, Julian Fantino, Travis Verbeek, Will Leteach, Ty Gordon. These aren't too bad. These aren't
Not
too
too
bad
bad.
of names. Oh, I'm not in the defensemen yet, though. Some of the defensemen names are terrible. Christs Retainus,
Yeah.
Dante Siciliano.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dante Siciliano, yeah.
Maddage Tepley.
Yeah.
Nate Yellowwaga. So they made sure that everyone with a tough name had to be a defenseman. That's how the Brooks Bandits work. Matthew Talafor, that's a tough one. Yeah. Chris Quizzy, the goalie's got some tough names too. Zach Zahara.
Yeah.
Noah Tegelaar, that's a Dutch name. That's easy. And yeah, Mikas Vekvanigs, that's tough, eh?
Oh, yeah.
And no wonder the general manager's name is Papayanu Yo.
Oh, Ryan Papuano, he's not there anymore, yeah.
It's no wonder he picked all these people with crazy names. He's like, if I pick everyone with crazy names, no one will look at my crazy name. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Papuano.
Rude.
Ah,
Very good.
so it's Latvian.
Votilated.
Figured it was. I was like, is it Lithuanian or Latvian? It's Latvian. Vekvanigs.
Yeah.
Now that I said
Old Hawk. Just call him Old Hawk.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely try to say that on the radio.
Yeah. Just call him Old Hawk.
well, I think that's coming to the end of a show. Coming
Yeah.
to the end of the show, yeah. I need to eat something with
Well,
my-
I've been trying. I still have half a discreetly trying to eat my corn.
Yeah, it was like one of the first couple episodes. That was a thing. Was I had a new food item every week that I would eat very obnoxiously, and then after like the fourth episode, I stopped doing it. But I had like a really big burger from the Jack, one night, and I was like, here it is, Frankie. Like the first couple episodes ever. Episode 2 or 3 or something like that. For a couple weeks, I was like eating something that was like part of the thing of the show is I'm just eating. But now I've gone back to my old habit of never eating when I'm performing of any kind. And it's killing me. It's killing me.
And next
slowly.
time there's a big storm in Brooks and I find out that Josh is there, I need to tell Brandon to go pick him up. The poor guy didn't have a car. He was just stuck in town.
He was up in Rosemary, actually. Yeah, he was just to the north there.
Yeah.
But he still
I'm like, did you go out? He's
super-
like, no, I have no car. I'm like, no.
What happened to his car?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Okay.
But it wasn't available to drive.
Yeah.
So he was stuck there with this beautiful storm going on and couldn't go anywhere.
Well, he was pretty close to that big hailer.
Oh, yeah. He got close to that one.
Yeah. So maybe there's some. I'm just guessing. It could be anything. It could be, it's just
That's
in for
it.
a
Who
repair for a
says
couple
that
hours.
Southwest BC boys can't chase? See, we've got. He gets some effort. He does way does what I get.
Oh yeah.
He's very good.
I know. He messages
fact-
me all the time.
Yeah,
He
same,
sends me,
right?
and he sends me, check out this photo I took, and I'm like, are you kidding me with this photo? Crazy.
Pretty much like you'll see Brandon and I share his photos all the time. He does the same thing to us.
Because he posts on Facebook. He's this young guy that's all on Facebook, but never on anything else.
So like I don't know how many times I'm sure Brandon got the same thing where like the same him and I are sharing a Josh Palmer photo within 10 minutes of each other. And I'm like, he probably sent that to you too.
Yeah.
So that's I think that we discovered that's what he does is he sends it to the chaser people. But hey, he's very good. That's the thing.
In other news, when I asked people to send me photos of that storm that was tornado warned just outside of the Fort St. James there, I got photos all from your website.
Right.
I said, hey, if anybody sees it, has any footage from there that friends of mine, they're all sending me your stuff, that stuff that's been posted on your Facebook page. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that already.
Yeah.
So you get
Been
all the
there,
footage, just so
done
you
that.
know. If you're looking for footage, you have it already.
Yeah, I think nothing happened, unfortunately.
No, I
But
don't think so either.
that was a sure serious looking wall cloud for a few minutes. Holy, I couldn't believe it. That thing was chunked right out.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, hopefully I get some storms this weekend while I'm here. But now that I'm back in town on the Lower Mainland, we're not going to get the late show that we had last weekend because I'm back in the Lower Mainland. But maybe we will.
I don't think you'll have to go too far to see some lightning.
No, hopefully not.
No, I don't think
And hopefully,
so.
and then hopefully some moisture to keep the fires at bay.
I don't think so for the first couple days.
We'll see.
Which is when most of your lightning's happening.
Yeah, it always happens at the beginning.
As you get further in to the pattern, it's going to get rainier, but it's also going to get more eastern.
Yep.
So
then it'll be Brandon's turn, and hopefully, maybe you'll get some more fun weather out there because you've been bored lately.
Well, we need at least one good nader outbreak on the prairie still, so that I can be like, Justin. You know.
Yep.
As it is, like I don't know. There was some good storms out there last week, even some hailers and whatnot. But
it's been a dry tornado summer this year, even with stuff that looked great. Oh, we got the perfect setup. It looks fantastic.
And then the storm happened at my house.
But that was funny though.
Yeah.
Brandon doesn't chase; he just waits.
Have we heard from NTP about that? Did they find anything?
Rated high-end EF1 downbursts is what it was rated. Yeah.
Gotcha. Lower than I thought, but there you go.
Yeah,
I was still thinking it could be upgraded too. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe EF2.
I think all them transmission towers. Like, are you kidding me?
But the issue is though too is all you need is one of those transmission towers that's compromised somehow, and once one goes, that it can propagate down as well. I was chatting a bit with Kyle Britton about it.
Yeah, still.
Who knows? They weren't the sturdiest looking transmission towers.
Yeah, those ones been around well before I was around. So those transmission towers. The other ones on the other side, they just built them 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. So they're a little more newer.
Even
I remember when they were putting them in the ground too. It's like
there's not a lot of surface area on
big
a
loud boom
transmission tower to wind sail over. You know, I'm just like, I don't know, EF1, okay.
But the other damage I've seen, lamp post gets knocked over as well. So that was, and then a lot of the signs, like the, you see those highway kind of signs on trucks or whatever on the side there. Some of those got knocked down as well and ripped out of the ground. So there's some other noticeable things as well. And in that one barn that I saw, roof got torn right off, thrown into the cornfield there, knocked power lines down. So, it was.
How far did the roof travel?
I'd say about just less than a kilometer away.
That's good travel.
Oh yeah. Hit the power line into the cornfield, and that cornfield was wiped out. Oh yeah.
That's the other thing that makes me skeptical on the rating is just the sheer devastation.
Oh yeah, and that whole area just to the north of me, like, it looks like the dead of winter, pretty much. There's nothing.
It's stripped, Like,
yeah.
But when you're getting there was a lot of hail there too. When
And
you're
then,
getting that flying
you
at you at 150 kilometers an hour. That's going to do some pretty good damage shooting the trees.
Oh yeah. Yep, the hail was An
engineer I am not, so there's that.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little low, but maybe. I guess, maybe.
Yeah,
just felt like that's, EF1's moderate, and EF2 is the start of significant, and to me, like, it's definitely smells of significance.
Oh, yeah.
The damage.
Especially if it knocks me
But
off
yet-
the show for a day.
Yeah, that is significant. That's significant damage right there. We lost Brandon Hauk for a while, man. It was tough.
Well,
We
not
were
that
really
long.
worried
It was-
about you.
I
We're
was.
like, will he
I
ever
just
get
had to get my
internet again?
Wi-Fi thing fixed, and they came the next day, so that was nice. Showed up, got on the roof, and got me up and running again. So.
That's what's crazy is how fast power was restored everywhere there.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting. But well, it's been
Here we
2
go.
hours for me. I'm ready to
Yeah,
go
I
and
better.
eat some lettuce.
I better keep eating, and I'm not
Better
eating
go to
lettuce.
bed.
Chilliwack corn.
I don't even have lettuce.
Chicken
I
from
don't
a
even know if I
box.
can chew lettuce anymore now that I'm
TSN is
missing a tooth.
posting lightning photos.
Who is?
TSN. Never thought I'd see a lightning picture off of TSN ever. There we are.
Oh, this is funny that I just saw a tweet from Jordan Hall in the States commenting about some sportscaster commenting about weather too.
Oh yeah. Must be what's going
Hearing
on?
the NFL announcer talk about daytime heating is gold.
Oh yeah. Must be
All right.
Alrighty then. Thank you,
That's
everyone.
it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for being here, guys.
I won't be
And
here
we'll
next
see you
Thursday.
next week.
I might be
6:30
here.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next week, Thursday. Yeah. And
Have fun, everyone.
I have so much fun just chatting. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great week.